Hello, it's VNA team here, and today we're going to discuss with you about the recent audit scandal, Longtop. Longtop Technology Limited was originally a Cayman Islands company. They are a leading provider of IT solutions in the financial service industry in China. They aim at banking and insurance sector with the focus on meeting the demands of fast-growing IT needs in financial institutions. So now let's talk about the accounting failure of the scandal. To begin with, let's talk about the first factor of the scandal, the accounting failure. Hi Dom, could you tell me more about this one?
About the accounting failure, the scandal happened when the Shichen researchers. Shichen is a firm do the research for the public company, and it published that every financial statement of Longtop company from its IPO is fraudulent. So, for example, gross and operating margin are 2 and 3 times more than peer companies' margins, respectively. So, on the other hand, Deloitte auditing company also found that Longtop didn't have a cash it claimed together with unreflected cash borrowing from the bank in the accounting books. Moreover, there was the fake cash recorded in the accounting books because of the fake revenue in the past. After considering the problem from Longtop companies, auditors came to ask the bank headquarters. So there was the truth that the confirmation revealed that fictitious deposit balances and unreported loan liabilities. So it can be seen that the bank and the Longtop cooperate to do the fraud.
It can be seen that the bank was also part of the fraud for helping Longtop to cover the unfavorable information. However, the failure was not only regarding the accounting but also in terms of corporate governance. Hey Duan, could you tell me your idea about this one?
Okay, so the failure is not only in terms of accounting but also in terms of corporate governance, and why the board of directors supposed to be applying and maintaining the company rules, company regulations. Section believe that this amount is used to pay hidden liability and ulterior motive. So effectively they have breached the company rules and has abused their company position to commit fraud.
So effectively, Longtop's leader have breached the regulation and also abused their position to do the fraud. But it's also the auditor to take responsibility. So what's your opinion about the audit failure here?
Deloitte is one of the big four audit firm, but they failed to confirm cash balance and they failed to detect unauthorized transaction to a related entity. They could not find the fraud in several years financial statement like fake revenue and unreported liability. Their duty to overlook the fraud was not fulfilled.
It seems that the auditor's problems is quite troublesome. So how do you think about the consequences of the audit failure?
When the auditor issue unqualified opinions about the fraudulent financial statement, they potentially face liability with the persons using this information. The auditors also can be subject to the liability in a derivative shareholder action for a breach of duty to the client corporation that would negatively affect to the auditing firm and its reputation. Moreover, the auditing failure can lead to some serious problem in terms of the investor and the credit losses. It would also affect to the auditing firm Deloitte and the Longtop company itself.
So to critically analyze it, in overall, Longtop company did a lot of fraud in terms of the fake revenue and liability is a few years ago. However, Deloitte auditing company have been working 5 or 6 years to audit the Longtop company that they didn't find out the frauds. So there's a problem from Deloitte company.
At the time the auditor discovered the fraud, the situation became more serious. The auditor came to the bank, which related to the Longtop company, to find the accurate financial number. During the time of checking this information, the auditor has found that the liability wasn't reported and the deposit is not clearly expressed. The reason why the Longtop company wants to do that is to attract and keep more customers. or investor?
In my opinion, poor corporate governance could lead to a position abuse that chairman and CEO could withdraw from Longtop for personal use to repay hidden liability. As a result, we can see that clearly Longtop and the bank working together to do this fraud.
Moreover, during the time they worked as auditor in Longtop, they negligent and did not comply the accounting standard. Such action can be treated for both auditor and client.
Normally, with a big and reputable firm, it's a usually low client risk and therefore high detection risk. However, Deloitte may fail to take into account the fact that both chairman and CEO of Longtop have been charged with the fraud before. These facts should have raised the client risk and therefore more procedures should have been taken to reduce the detection risk.
It is never good for auditors to have certified a fraud, but Deloitte auditing company seem to act properly, and they got the bank confirmation and they got them directly from the bank rather than relying on the company information. As a PwC have done when it failed to notice the fraud at Indian technology company.